Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Financial Survival, sponsored by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. I'm Melody Cedarstrom. Today is the 1st of March, 2010, and it is Monday. And again, I want to thank you for listening to the program, Financial Survival. I'm Melody Cedarstrom. And this program is brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. 1-800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188. And, of course, visit our website at discountgoldandsilvertrading.net, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. And if you have questions for the program today, you can use our email address at discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. And, of course, you can use that email address for all your gold and silver coin questions, discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. We're going to get right to the markets today. Gold doesn't know if it wants to go up or down, but right now we're at 11.18. 11.18, down 70 cents. We have silver 16.45, down 6 pennies. But both platinum and palladium were up today. Platinum up $4 at 15.49, and we have palladium up 3 at $439. Gold was a lot higher today. We had a high of 11.23, so it did want to move, but doesn't want to stay there. We have a lot of strength in the dollar and everything else. So we have Robert Chapman joining us from the International Forecaster. Good afternoon, Bob.
Well, good afternoon to you and all you listeners. Nice to be back. I had a busy weekend. I spent 10 hours on Sunday doing emails and still didn't get them all done. So when you're sending emails, make sure they're important. I'm getting absolutely deluged, and so spare me a little. It's got to be important. The market did okay today in the gold and silver. Certainly nothing to write home about, but that's okay. I think it acted well. They tried to take it down early. They had it down around 520 or so, and then it built up during the course of the day. It looks like the stocks were up just a little tiny bit, and they were up most of the day. I haven't seen the closes yet. I don't get those until the half hour. I want to make sure they're final. The argument still is going on as to how and whether Greece will be bailed out. And I've been making comparisons in the International Forecaster between California and Greece. Greece is a country, California is a state, and California, if it were a country, would be the seventh largest producer of goods and services in the world, and they're bankrupt. Whether something can be arranged remains to be seen, but they're only one of 40 that either are or will be bankrupt very shortly. The states have been very, very slow to cut jobs, cut costs, and they're still issuing municipal bonds like the so tomorrow. They have no intention of facing the music. And you can't raise taxes, although they are raising them in small ways. We're seeing it, and I have that in the forecaster for Saturday. And again, for this coming Wednesday, I've got new stuff that came in. So I think that they're going to hold off this problem with Greece and actually 17 other countries who are in serious trouble. And I expect it to really hit next year. But it could hit a little bit earlier. As I said on the program on Friday, I see a large meeting revaluation, devaluations, settlement of country-to-country deficits, and almost all the countries in the world officially revalue or devalue in their currencies, and almost all of them will be devaluations. And the reason for that is that, let's say if China devalues by making the value of their currency go down, everybody else has to do it in order to compete. And that's why we need tariffs on goods and services, because these people just keep on screwing us. And of course, tariffs would end the problem that we face with high unemployment, because if jobs and companies were forced to come back to the United States because there was no longer any advantage someplace else, then that would really help the economy. It would hurt other economies, but I think we've suffered long enough with our government and the people behind our government selling us out. So I think that this is a 2-year problem, maybe a 1-year problem on sovereign debt default. And I don't know what California's going to do. They can cut all they want. They still owe the money, and they can't pay it. And so, as I've said over and over and over again, be out of municipals. If you own them, you're going to get killed. I mean, even states like Pennsylvania are announcing the fact that they're broke. I just got a piece in from the Boston Herald, and you don't hear much about the Herald. You always hear about the Globe, but Herald's a good paper. And they said the unemployment fund in Massachusetts is empty. It's all gone. So there's lots of other states that way, but I was surprised hearing it coming from Massachusetts.
Wasn't there supposed to be a bunch of unemployment rolling off the books at the end of February?
Right, and that has not been extended because Jim Bunning stopped it in the Senate, and there will be no extension. What I think he's doing is trading. I think what he's saying is, look, you show us how you're going to pay for it. We'll vote for it, but, and I think the but is, I'm only guessing, that he's going to say, no more cap and trade, get rid of it, and no medical reform plan, and then we'll go for it. And I think that's what's going on. And I think that's good, because we want them stopped. And you can't give unemployment to people forever. In the 1930s, nobody had unemployment. There was no social welfare. So their burden was great. And that's why this depression you're in now has been masked over by these social things that are going on. More questions for the Melody. I got 3 of them now, Melody. And at the same time, just to throw this in, I get this from a college student today. He was asking about the 30s and the comparison. We were on a gold standard. We were an international creditor. People owed us money. We had a pile of gold. We had very little crime. You hear about Bonnie and Clyde and John Dillinger. They were heroes. Everybody hated the banks for what they did, because everybody finally knew that the banks did what they did. That's why they had a war. Not only to get out of the Depression, but to keep people from going to Washington and New York and hanging the bankers. I mean, they were right on the verge again in 1938-39 of a full-scale revolution in the country. Nobody writes about it, but that's the way it was. So.
And look at the length of time that it took from 29, or actually it started prior to 29, But look at the length of time that took for everything to unfold. Is for it to. Some say that they have never actually really came out of that depression, but so when folks today, I mean, we've been going through this for what, a year and a half, 2 years. That we have a long way to go, but yet quite a shorter time than before.
2.5 years. And so what do you do? October of 29, 30, 31, sewer, and in that time scheme, it's mid-31. And I think the best it got was in 32. There was a big rally in the market that stuck for a while and then went back down again. There were several rallies. But after that, it got nowhere. They kept on spending more and more money just like they are now, and nothing's happening.